So, marketing, marketing, marketing. We continue to talk about marketing. We have had 3 episodes so far, and we talk about network marketing on how to grow your business and how to build relationships. I have in the studio with me a friend of mine who we met about 10 years ago, and his name is Pankaj. Pankaj, how are you today?
Good morning. How are you, Jorge?
I'm doing excellent. I'm doing excellent. Thank you for getting up early and being here today
Oh,
to
it's a
talk to me.
pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really glad to be here. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to talk about marketing, right? And then we're going to talk about your business and what it is that you do. Do you remember how we met?
Yes, quite some time back, almost 10 years ago, when I first moved to the Valley, I didn't know anyone in the area. I looked
Hmm.
up the Chambers of Commerce and I went to the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce breakfast, and you were the first person greeting me over there. That was the first person I met in the Valley.
And that was a long time ago. That
Almost
was
10 years ago.
almost
Yes,
10 years
sir.
ago. And that was
Yes.
on Lancaster Boulevard.
On
It,
Lancaster
it was at
Boulevard.
the Rio Brazilian Grill,
Yes.
right? We used to have our breakfast there with the Antelope Valley Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And it was early in the morning,
Yes.
and we used to eat good there.
And Liz Medina was the receptionist at the
Yeah,
time.
Liz Medina was our
She's a,
office manager
yes.
for the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. The Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, goes back a long time ago. It's not as old as the AV Chamber or the Quartz Hill Chamber, but it's been around in the AV for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say is the funnest Chamber of Commerce in the Antelope Valley.
Yep. Yep.
And they're growing. Andres Cabrera is currently the president. Andres is the
Is
owner
the
of the
owner
Rio
of the
Brazilian
yes.
Grill where
Yes.
we met,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yep.
know.
Yep.
And he is the president. He's doing a very good job over there. And he is growing the chamber. And he's got good strategies. And he's got a good plan for that chamber to continue to grow. So, we've been talking, first we talked about Quartz Hill Chamber. Then we met with the Antelope Valley Chambers. And now they're not here, but we're talking about the Hispanic Chamber, which is a very good chamber. I've been a member of it for, I don't know, 23 something years,
Oh, wow.
since 2003. I joined all three of those chambers. But going back to networking, so we met there, right?
Yes.
We had
Mm-hmm.
no idea who each other was. I didn't know who you were, right? You told us about your business, what you did back then. And then we continued to network and we met at other events.
Yes, we
Remember
did.
what another event we met?
We met that team. Then we became members of our chapter of team.
Uh-huh.
You used to host it at your Lancaster location.
Mm-hmm.
We would meet once a week in the early in the morning,
Right.
and we also used to meet at Crazy Autos.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then we moved to Greenhouse Cafe. That was Tuesday afternoons that they
Right.
meet.
Right. Team was a great networking event. They're still around. They still have one chapter out here. They meet in Lancaster. I forgot what days of the week they meet, but they're still there. Team is a great organization to be part of. Terry Harrison, right? She was
Yes.
the owner of Team, and we miss Terry. I'm gonna reach out to her. I was talking to Vicky this morning about, Vicky, I'm gonna reach out to Terry Lee, and maybe we can do a podcast remotely because she's out of state now. She moved out of state, and we can talk about network marketing and things like that, and what she's up to right now.
Yeah, that would be
So
nice.
yeah, so 10 years go by, you're still in business.
By the grace of God, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
absolutely.
so tell me about your business. What is it that you do? And tell me what it is that you do.
Sure. So I'm in a very specific area of the investment business. I help business owners set up and run retirement plans for their businesses. The most common is what we call the 401k, but the 401k is only one type of retirement plan. It all depends on what the situation is what the right type of plan could be for that business. And that's what I do. One, I fee based. Two, I'm independent. And three, my focus is just retirement plans. So, being independent, I can work with any of the service providers out there. So, I always bring a completely non biased opinion to the client, no matter what service provider they go with. And companies like ADP, Paychex, Vanguard, Fidelity, and on and on and on. I can work with almost any and every service provider out there.
Mhm. In order for someone like me, a small business owner, uh, is it something that you can offer to a small business owner? Is there a minimum number of employees that we need to have or anything like that?
No, you can have the 0 employees, and you can actually the lower the number, the better, because the owner can put more money away for themselves. There is a requirement, a minimum requirement that they have to give the employees. But when you have fewer employees, you can put more money for yourself while you give something to your employees. Not a lot, but you have to give them something,
Hmm.
and you get the bigger benefit. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
What is one of the biggest products that you offer?
Again, retirement plans, 401k or profit sharing, there's so many different kinds. Basically, they fall under defined contribution or defined benefit, and it all depends on what the situation is. So, if I were to use an example, I have a husband and wife that have no employees and they make a lot of money. They're putting away in a retirement plan $300,000 a year.
Wow.
Now, that's obviously not everyone is going to be eligible for that, but if a business is eligible, they can put away. So they can, the 401k portion of it is 23,500 is the limit for this year. And then there's something called a catch up. So you have another 7,500. So if you're over the age of 50, you could do the catch up. So there, between the two, you already have $31,000 that you can put. Then you can add a profit sharing to it. So between all of that, you could put almost $70,000 into the plan, or maybe even a little bit more. And that's for you as the owner. Now,
Wow.
once you have employees, you can set up different kinds of profit sharing plan where the profit sharing plan is not what we call a standard plan, it's a different kind. And that will allow you to maximize for yourself while by law, whatever you're required to give your employees, you do give them something. And of course, if you have good employees, it's a great benefit. Most major companies offer a retirement plan as obviously one of the bigger benefits. Health insurance, retirement, those are things that every employee is always concerned about. So if you're giving them a match, it's a great thing for them. They appreciate that.
Hmm. I've heard of something called CalSavers. Is that what it is?
Yes. So in America,
Uh huh.
you are not obligated to offer a retirement plan to your employees. California is one of the few states that has created a state mandate that if you, as the employer, do not offer a retirement plan for your employees, then you have to enroll them in CalSavers.
Wow.
What CalSavers is nothing but a Roth IRA. So, you, as the owner of the business, your obligation is to enroll them in the program. Now, they don't have to participate. If they do,
Okay.
it's okay, but they don't
So,
have to.
so what happens if me as an employer, right? I don't enroll them. I don't do this CalSavers. Is there a penalty or is there
There is a
something?
penalty. I don't know the numbers, but they can look up on. I believe it is $250 a day. The deadline is it is down to one employee. So any business in the state of California that has at least one or more employees by December 31st, they are required to do this.
Okay, so I don't have it. Okay, so I have to enroll Martin and Rafael into CalSavers, and that we do that through you,
You know,
or how do we do this?
you just go on the website, calsavers.com,
Uh huh.
and you could just enroll the employees on CalSavers. It may ask you for your tax ID and whatever, your
Yeah.
company information. You enter all that in, you enroll them, and that's it. You're done. Your
Okay.
your obligation is complete once you enroll them.
Okay, so that's something that we must do as business owners, whether we have
So you
one.
have two choices. Either you set up a plan for yourself. Now, one thing I did not mention that when you set up a plan for yourself, there is a tax credit.
Hmm.
There is a 3 year for the first 3 years, you could get a tax credit of minimum of $500 a year. And that is good for 3 years. So you as the business, not you as the business owner, but you as the business can get that credit. And that's a dollar for dollar credit. So that's a very good incentive. I've had one client that got over 5,000. So there's minimum 500 all the way up to $5,000 of tax credit. But this business had 80 employees, so obviously they had a bigger number, so they got the maximum benefit that they can get. So it did not cost, there is a cost involved to run a program. So it did not cost them. It was about $1,000 a month because they had so many employees, but they got about like a somewhere around a $6,000 tax credit. So it only cost them $6,000 to run the program. And that is a deduction to the business anyway. It's an ordinary expense.
Mhm.
And all the money that the employer contributes towards the employee, that's also an ordinary
Tax.
contribution.
Okay.
So it's a tax deferred for them, for the employer also. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's say that I go into the CalSavers website, right? And I enroll both of my guys there, right? And myself, right? And for some reason, one of them decides, I don't want this. They have the option.
They can
It,
opt out anytime they have it is their account. So if they leave, say you have two employees now and one leaves tomorrow, next week, next year, it doesn't matter when. That's their account. That account will stay with them for the rest of their life. So
gotcha.
even if they go to a different employer, it doesn't matter because that account follows the person and you don't have any obligation. Your only obligation is to enroll them in the program.
Okay, and to enroll them, you said I can go to a website.
CalSavers.com, and all the information is there. And if you need help, there is an 800 number. You call CalSavers directly. So, my recommendation to any business owner that's out there, please understand your options. You decide, once you know your options, then you can make an informed decision whether a retirement plan for your business is a good idea or should you enroll everyone in CalSavers. It's as simple as that because it will give you, and that's what I do. I work with businesses to give them all their options because it is very important. It's
Okay.
not something that you do and forget about it because once you set up a retirement plan, there's some paperwork that has to be done and you need to monitor it on a regular basis.
If someone needs to get a hold of you so that you can guide them, educate them, on the different options that they have, how can someone get a hold of you?
They can always reach me at 661-524-9052. Again, that's 661-524-9052. I don't always answer depending on where I am or what, but you can always leave me a voicemail and I will get back to you in a timely manner.
What areas do you service?
I'm registered, or my firm is registered in the state of California.
So you can pretty much go anywhere within California.
And also New Jersey, so I can work in, because that's where I'm from, so I can work
Right.
there
I
also.
remember you said you moved from New York or somewhere. I remember back at
Yes,
days when we
yes,
had. Well, thanks for the info. Thanks for educating us. I know that you're involved in the community, right? We love to be involved in the community that we live in. I love to give back as much as I can when I can, right? And you're involved with the CHP.
yes. I am a volunteer with the CHP. And speaking of, we're looking for golfers. We're looking for sponsors. So if you want to promote your business, you're most welcome. Give me a call. I will give you all the details. And we will accept hackers. So you don't have to be a great golfer to come and enjoy. It is the first Monday in October. I believe it is October 7th. I'm not 100%, but it is there. And it's right here at the Rancho Vista Golf Course. You're most welcome to join us. We are looking for sponsors. You want to promote your business, you're most welcome to come and join us.
So let's talk about the CHP. Golfing, I don't know much about. I played golf once when I was with the Palmdale Chamber of Commerce. We went to play golf over at the Rancho Vista Golf Club, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was having a good time. We had,
That's all it is.
I think
That's
they,
all
they,
it
they called
is.
it a foursome or something like that.
Yes,
I
yes.
know Isaac Barcelona was in my team, and there was two other people, and we were just having a good time. Just having a good time.
Yes, that's all it is. You just come out. And again, talking about networking, that's a great place to network because all the sponsors at the end, we have a luncheon and we do promote all the sponsors. So people will know
That's right.
who all our sponsors are.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So years ago, I don't know, 8, 10 years ago, I don't remember when, I wanted to be part of the CHP. The CHP is the California Highway Patrol, and I know that they were accepting volunteers, right? So I
Absolutely.
said, I want to be part of that. How do I join the volunteers and la da 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 da? And they said that I was too young and handsome to be part of it.
Uh
They
huh.
said that I was too young because you need to be a certain age.
Yes, you as thank you for bringing that up because we are actually looking to have a class in the beginning of September. So yes, you need to be a certain age. You need to be minimum 55 years of age, and as long as you can put in 16 hours a month, that's all they ask for, which is not a lot. And you can join. You obviously have to have a clean record because they do a background check.
Right.
You are obviously a volunteer. You're not a peace officer, but you are a volunteer with the CHP. So you do have to meet certain criteria, but you are most welcome. You can either call the CHP office directly, or again, my number is 661 524 9052, and I will put you in touch with the people, or I will get you an application if you're local.
Yeah, it's great. I wanted to be a CHP volunteer, and I didn't qualify because I was not 55 yet at the time. So I joined the Palm Shares Boosters. So I've
Yes,
been with the Palm Shares Boosters ever since.
I know you've been
Uh,
very active with the Sheriff
and
Boosters. Yes.
I'm the current president. This is
Oh,
my fifth
nice.
year as the president for the Palm Shares Boosters. This is my third term as a
Wow,
president, you
nice.
know, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it. We do things for the boost for the sheriff's department. We help raise funds for them and things like that. It's fun, and I enjoy it. And I know I see you guys at different events. You guys were at the Taco Festival every year. You
Yes.
guys are at Taco
You're
Festival.
one of our great big supporters, not just the Taco Festival. You've done other events. So, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes. It's
yeah,
always a pleasure.
yeah. Well, Pankash, thanks for stopping by. You
Thank you
know,
for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't let this be the first time. The door's always welcome.
Anytime,
You
anytime, if we can help, let me know. And again, anybody has questions, all I ask you is please understand your options and then you make an informed decision. That's
yeah,
all.
there you go. You guys give Pancash a call. I'll put his information down here below. And if you need to be educated and want to know more about CalSavers or different things that you need to do as an employer that you might not be aware of, he's the guy. He's the man to help you.
And as I mentioned, the deadline is December 31st. One or more employee, you need to do it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Pancash. I'll see you guys around. See you at the next network meeting.